defence.
For defence, what else?
Attack.
To attack. What else?
For display.
Living.
Display.
Museum.
And
Living.
living. Okay. You build castles for 3 reasons. A, it's to show a show of power. B, it's to put down any possible invasions. And C, it's to live in. Now, the first castle built here was in 1070, 4 years after the Battle of Hastings, when I'm sure you all know King William defeated Harold and became our king. Now, although he'd actually defeated and subdued the English, he never ever subdued the Welsh or the Scots. So he needed to protect the land that he got from invasion from those two countries. So what he did, he put up a ring of steel, he put up castles, and he threw a big ring of castles around the country. Okay, now originally, when he invaded, he left the overlords that were in that land, okay, looking after that land, the Saxons, he allowed them to stay. However, the lord that was here at the time was Edwin of Mercia, and he rebelled around about 1070, and he was killed for his rebellion. So what William did, he divided Edward's land up between his followers. Okay, so he gave this part of the country to a man called Ansculf of Pigwinny. Okay, now Pigwinny is in is in the south of France. Now, he chose this site to build a Motte and Bailey castle. Now, the reason this site was chose, why do you think? Why would you choose here to build a castle? Sorry?
Rivers.
Not so much rivers.
It's a low-key place. Low-key.
It's high up. You've got a... have you walked up to the castle? Yes. So you can know how steep it is. It's actually 730 feet above sea level. It's one of the highest points of land in Britain. Okay, if you go to the top of the present-day keep, head west, your next highest point of land are the Ural Mountains in Russia. So it is a very high, very steep hill. But even then, he needed to make it higher. Okay, so what he dug a ditch. And the ditch was called the moat. And you use the dirt from the ditch to make your motte or your mound of earth, and he made this mound. Now the one you see today that the keep sits on is smaller than it was then. The original motte stood around about 12 feet higher. Okay, now this area was quite wooded, which was another reason it was chosen, because that way he could build a wooden keep. Okay, so he had natural resources here he could use. Now the Normans just ploughed through the land. Okay, they ploughed through. If you got in their way, they got rid of it. So they used the local wood to make the tower. Excuse me. Okay. Just in case any animals escape. Okay. So the motte is around 29 metres. The original Motte and Bailey was around 27 metres and possibly stood as high as 29 metres. Later on, when they built stone keeps, they had to take 12 feet off the top of that motte in case the castle actually, the tower actually collapsed. Now, there was a problem with these. What was the problem? Catch fire easily. And if you put wood into the ground, it actually rots. So around about 50 years later, they took down the wooden keep and actually built the first stone keep. Now the one you've seen today is possibly the third that's been there. Okay, now the Bailey, which is the courtyard, would have had buildings in. Now the Lord would have lived there. Okay, Ansculf would have been in there. Okay, but he would have his villeins, who were the villagers, okay, and servants to living in the courtyard. Now in the Domesday Book in 1086, Dudley Castle is mentioned, and we know there was a blacksmith actually built inside the courtyard as well. Okay, and it was priced at £4. The whole of Dudley was priced at £4. It had been priced at £3 in the the time of Edward the Confessor. And the Normans actually built Motte and Bailey castles because they were easy to put up. It was originally thought you could put a Motte and Bailey up in 8 days. Okay, you could build this in 8 days, but the Motte is approximately 10,000 cubic metres and weighs 22,000 tonnes. Okay, going by Victorian Victorian Army regulations, one man can dig 80 cubic metres in a day, so it would have took 500 men to build a Motte and Bailey castle in 5 days. Okay, what we'll do, we'll head out and look at the stone keep. Okay, so if you want to follow me.